and gentlemen, welcome to my market wrap for Monday, November 28th, 2016. Markets were fairly flat today, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average closing down 54.24 points to 19,097.90, or 0.28%. Looking at the NASDAQ Composite Index, closing down 30.11 points to 5368.81, or down 0.56%. Looking at the S&P 500 Index, closing down 11.63 points to 2201.72, or 0.53%. Looking at the small cap Russell 2000 Index, the leader of today on the downside, closing down 17.37 points to 1329.84, or 1.29%. Looking over in Japan, the Nikkei 225 Index closed down 24.33 points to 18,356.89, or 0.13%. Looking over in Europe, the FTSE 100 Index in England closed down 41.28 points to 6799.47, or 0.60%. Looking at some broader indices, the NASDAQ 100 Index, the triple Qs, closed down 13 points to 4857.02, or 0.27%. Looking at the S&P Mid-Cap 400 Index, down 12.13 points to 1628.88, or 0.74%. Looking at the Small Cap 600 Index, down 10.18 points to 815.10, or 1.23%. Looking at the NYSE Composite Index, closed down 69.43 to 10,808.66, or 0.64%. Looking at the Gold and Silver Index, the XAU, closed up 2.56 points to 81.69, or 3.24%. Looking at the SOX Index, the Semiconductor Index, down 3.72 points to 887.25, or 0.42%. Looking at the Volatility Index, the VIX Index, closed up 0.74 points to 13.08, or 6%. Looking at market internals today, trading volume was, I would say, normal, not too hectic, but you can obviously see a negative connotation. On the New York Stock Exchange, total share volume traded today, 3.477 billion shares traded, of which 1.08 billion shares was advancing, 2.36 billion shares was declining, and 25 million shares was unchanged. Looking at the NASDAQ stock market, total share volume traded, 1.162 billion, of which 526 million was advancing, 1 billion was declining, and 20 million was unchanged. Looking at the NYSE market, formerly known as the Amex, total share volume, 87 million, advancing volume, 41 million, declining volume, 42 million, unchanged, 3.6 million shares. Looking at the advance decline line or market breadth, on the New York Stock Exchange, 1,033 issues were advancing, 1,993 issues were declining, and 84 issues were unchanged. Looking at the NASDAQ stock market, 853 issues were advancing, 2,000 declining, 133 issues were unchanged. And over on the NYSE market, 132 issues advancing, 194 declining, 18 issues were unchanged. Looking at the price of futures prices on Globex, last trade as of 4:11 Eastern Standard Time, crude oil West Texas Intermediate light sweet crude, last trade, 46.92, or up 86 cents for a percentage gain of 1.87. Looking at Brent North Sea crude at 48.03, up 0.79 for a percentage gain of 1.67%. Looking at the price of gold. Last trade, 1195.20, up 14.2, or up 1.2%. Looking at silver. Last trade, 16.69, up 1.36, or 0.82%. Looking at the indices. The Dow Jones Industrial Average Futures Contract down 62, or 0.32%. Looking at the S&P Futures, 2201.25 last trade, down 10.25, or down 0.46%. Looking at currencies, is all versus the dollar. The euro is at 106.08, up 0.0017. The yen is at 112.07, down 1.14. Sterling is at 1.2410, down 0.67. Looking at the Australian dollar, 0.7478, up 0.034. Swiss franc, 1.0136, or down 0.005. Looking at the price of bonds, the 10-year note up 13.30, yield to maturity down to 2.312%. Today was a fairly flattish market. A lot of economic indicators and news to come out later in the week. GDP, you have unemployment, and let's see which way things will go. It all depends on how Fed Chair Yellen decides to do things, and let's see if anything gets spooked. I have my own personal consensus estimate, looking at 275,000 non-farm payrolls created, unemployment rate to stay the same, a GDP to be about 2% or so. Although we shall see what happens officially. These are just my guesses based on what I'm interpreting. Well, I hope you found this informative. I hope it helped you have an idea what to look for tomorrow, see how things did. And I just want to close and say, never give up on your dreams. Always persevere. And never stop fighting, because the best is just around the corner. If you found this video informative, I encourage you to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And support me on Patreon. Everybody have a wonderful evening. Thank you very much. I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.